Hello professional, this is Mohammed Abbas. I will be showing you how to restore system databases on a Microsoft SQL Server instance. The steps to restore the system databases on a standalone machine or a cluster are the same. You can use the same steps for SQL Server 2014, 12, SQL Server 2008 R2 and R 2008. The scenario is that if you have a SQL Server instance failed and you want to restore the system database on the same machine, these steps will probably not cover the restore on a different server. That will be out of the scope of this demo. Normally all of us don't face this issue on a day-to-day basis, but once we do, then it becomes challenge and a nightmare because we don't have the steps handy. Having this condensed information in this video will help you watching 10 minutes of the process, and you will be good to go at the time and you have this situation. So let's start with the what we will be covering in this video. In a situation where you have a problem where your system databases need a restore, you have to look for the cold backups. The cold backups are the backups you make when your SQL Server instance is down. Basically, you copy the master model and MSDB data and log files to a different location. You see if you can restore those backups. It depends on when you made them, and also the luxury of you shutting the SQL Server down and then copy those backups. Usually in production environments 24/7 you don't have that luxury, so in that case you rely on the hot backups. The hot backups are the backups which you make when your SQL Server is online. At that stage you see if we can restore those hot backups. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. In case we don't, then we will have to take the route to rebuild the system databases and then restore the hot backups. So that's the overall process of how you're going to deal with this situation. Now let's look at the environment here and see if we can simulate this. I have a SQL Server in a cluster environment. It's 2014 and it is currently up and running. And as you see that, let me actually I was checking this, so I have some of the steps sitting in there. I'll just remove those steps. I have this instance of SQL Server, and I see that I have a login, test login, and I have a agent job test. Let's see first that if we can make the backup hot backup, and the backup location is here. I don't have any file sitting at this time, but once I make the full backup of the master model and MSDB databases, you will see those files will pop up. Here, as you see, just pop up the master model and MSDB database backup file. Now this time, let's see if we can simulate the corruption. Let's take this SQL Server instance offline, and once it's completely offline, give it a second or two. I will go ahead and open the master data file in a notepad and try to delete the header, something that all of us actually don't want to do in production. Here I'm doing it just for the demo purposes. So the master database is corrupt and I want to bring the system data SQL Server instance online. Let's see what it does. It failed, and if I go back into the event log, probably see something like error message about complaining about master database is corrupt. Here is the reason, and we know what is the why is it. So in this case, as we said, if you have the cold backup, In fact, I have a cold backup which we can actually restore by just copying these files here. Copying these files back to the actual location of where the SQL Server instance is running, but I will not do that because it will defeat the purpose of the whole demo. What I will do is I will assume that we don't have a cold backup situation, which most of us have in our shops. What we will do is we will see if we can restore these backups that we made. So for us to restore the backups, we will have to start the SQL Server instances in the single user mode, and that is a command. You start the SQL Server services. In this case is default instance, so the name of the default instance is MSSQL Server, and /m. M is a switch which is used to start the instance in a single user mode. Let's start that and see what happens. So it's saying service is starting, and pop, this is shoot an error message. And the reason for this error message, why the SQL Server services did not start in the single user mode, is the master database which must need it to start the services is corrupt. So it's one of those scenarios where you cannot restore the system database, and in that situation you will have to rebuild the system database. So there are two ways to restore the system database. Is one, you can use the media which you use to install the SQL Server and initiate the setup program. You can use the GUI there, or you can do a command line interface to initiate the setup and provide some command line parameter. Or if you don't have that media, then SQL Server also actually have the setup file in the bootstrap folder. So you go, in my case it is the default location, which is C program files, Microsoft SQL Server 120 setup, bootstrap, SQL Server 2014 and setup. Here you can provide some switches there. I'll go through these switches very quickly. Q switch is for silent mode. Action is that you are doing a rebuild database, and the instance name is your default instance. If in case it's not the default instance, you have to provide the instance name here. You also have the luxury that what account that you want to add while you build the system databases. I want to add my account, and you can provide the SA password. So let's copy this command and see if you can rebuild the system databases. Here you go, and it initiated the system databases rebuilding. It will take a minute or two at the most, and we will be able to start the SQL Server services at that time. Once we start the SQL services, we will not be able to see our logins and jobs in under SQL Server agent, because we have rebuilt the databases brand new. And in just a second I'll show you that. Once this rebuilding process is finished, usually it doesn't take that long, but because of my laptop that I'm using, this demo is not powerful enough, and it probably take all of its time. Keep your hands tight and wait for another few more seconds, I hope. There you go. So it actually complained. It says that this password is not strong. I don't know. The password looks like it's very strong, but doesn't think that it is strong enough. Let's change that password to something more stronger. I hope that will work. If not, we can try something else. go. Well, looks like that we have to wait another few minutes. I was not expecting this will throw this error because of the password. I'll just pause the video here and resume as soon as this is done. Let's do that here. Okay guys, so the rebuild is finished. As you noticed here, I ran the command with a different password. It actually ran fine and did not print any error. Now if I go back and try to start the SQL Server services, it should start the SQL Server services. So let's, and let me also start the agent services. And if I go back here and refresh my connection, and try to see if my logins, the test logins that I was showing you before, is there or not, I see it's not there. And if I go back and look at my job, the test job, which is also not there. So I'm able to bring the system back online, but I am missing all my user databases. I am missing all of my logins and my agent jobs. If there's any other thing other than these, like link servers, like CLRs, or any other custom changes that you have made, they're all missing. So what we need to do at this time is we need to restore the system databases, and to restore the system databases you have to start the SQL Server services in the single user mode. So this is the method. You run the net start command and provide the SQL Server instance name with /m switch. /m switch is the switch which you use to start the SQL Server services in a single user mode. Okay, well, this is a good thing. You have to make sure your SQL Server services are stopped before you start it in the SQL single user mode. So I forgot to do that, and it's good that you see it. Now it is starting into the single user mode. It has started it, and I have some command here which we can use. I can run SQL CMD to connect to the SQL instance. This eSwitch allows to use your credential that you have used to log into this machine, and this is the server. S-switch is your SQL Server instance name, and you are logged in. And at this time I want to restore my system database that I made before we simulate the corruption. So I am restoring the database master first. That is the database you have to restore, and then we can restore the model and MSC database later. So it successfully restored these files, and now what I can do is basically bring the SQL Server back online here. And I also want to bring this agent online. And if I refresh my connection and see if my logins is back in there, I see the login is there. So the master database holds your login information, and it does not hold your job information or jobs that SQL agent has. That is actually suited in to MSDB database. So now you have to restore the model in MSDB database. Now restore the model database is how you set it up. A model database is used for creating any new database which will be model based on this model database. Now MSDB database you can restore, but you have to bring the agent service is down. If you try to restore that, you will see the database isn't being used. So let's bring the agent services down and then initiate this command to restore the MSDB database. There you go. Let's bring this agent services online, and if I go back and if I refresh the agent piece, and if I look at the jobs, I can easily see my agent job is back in the business. So that's all I want to show you. Is there any question? Please you can ask at this email address, au90remote@gmail.com. The reason I do these videos is because I learn things from you all, and sometimes I feel like to give back to who I learned from. So these short videos I make for all of you to help yourself out in a disaster situation. I hope you like this video. If there's any question, again, feel free to contact me at au90remote@gmail.com. Thank you.